Hello, hello, hello. It is the weekend, at least here in America, if not YouTube time. And the balloons are glowing. I'm going to be leaving in a few hours to go to the Balloon Glow Festival. It's the hot air balloons at night. Looking forward to that. And tomorrow is the local farmers market, which I've never been to. So I'll try to get some footage from both of those if I can. But today, we're just hanging out. The link is pinned. The panel is open. You're welcome to come up, chat, have a conversation as usual. We got our friend. Good morning.
Morning. What's on your mind today?
The balloons, balloon glow. It's the hot. It's
Uh,
a hot nighttime hot air balloon festival where I am. I'm gonna go to that this afternoon or this evening.
nice. Nice.
In
Sounds
fact,
really
okay,
cool.
there's that, and we have the farmers market tomorrow, our local farmers
Okay.
market. So while I'm going to these two events, give me some
Right.
ideas. Let's strategize. How can I grow this, not only this channel, but this podcast network?
Let's
Community
begin.
build, essentially.
Those are
Why am I
exactly.
asking you for advice? You probably
Yeah.
learned from me.
Right. Right. Those are the kind of events where relationships multiply. Approach people with curiosity first. What keeps you busy around here?
I always do.
Who's
People fascinate me. Okay, what keeps you busy around here? That's a good one. I'm sorry, keep going.
right? No worries. What's a story here that folks don't hear enough? When something clicks, don't pitch the show right away. Say, I'd love to keep talking
Hang on.
some.
Slow down, slow down. I'm writing down. What was the
Okay.
first one?
What keeps you busy around here?
What keeps you busy? And then the second one was what's a story
hmm What's a
that what
local story? What's a local story folks don't hear enough?
local story folks don't hear enough, like a local legend folks don't hear. Okay. All right,
hmm
continue.
Okay. So when something clicks, don't mention the show right away. Say something like, I'd love to keep talking about this later.
Wait, what do you mean
Who,
clicks? What does that mean when something clicks?
when something resonates or stands
Oh,
out
like when
during the
they're talking and
conversation,
it like I get
like that.
excited about I hear something in it that I see potential in.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. That aha moment. Then you could follow up with something like, who else should I meet today?
Oh, I like that. So don't
That
jump for the
way you're starting.
bone right away. Who
Exactly.
else?
You're planting seeds, not pitching right away.
Planting seeds. Now, why are we doing all this instead of just directly overtly building the community? Is it because you have to
Great
finesse
question.
people?
Not so much finesse as relationship building, being genuinely curious about people and
Well, I am. I mean,
allowing
you
that.
can do all of that and still build a community. Like it sounds like you're trying to. It sounds politiciany to me. Like don't mention who you are or why you're doing this. Just like don't lead with any of that, and it hold back on that. And that I don't want that to be deceptive. Like me and transparency. Like,
Right.
hey, I have a
It's
YouTube channel. I am trying to use it to build community and connect people.
hmm
That's more
that's exactly.
transparent to me than, hey, I'm just here to kind of listen to you and get to know you when I have this secret agenda in my head the whole time.
No secret agenda, just timing and delivery. It's
Well,
not
you,
deceptive if you're
how much have we talked about that with me? You're asking me to do timing and delivery?
not
What's the
asking you to do
autistic
anything.
version of what you're trying to get me to do? The community building.
Let me
Because
think
that
on
sounds
that.
like a lot of neurotypical double and triple, quadruple tracking, keeping track of multiple threads and goals and agendas.
Then be
It's too many
straightforward.
lanes of traffic at once.
Sure, go straight to the heart of what you're trying to do. Hi, I'm Jeff. I run a local podcast network about connecting people through stories. Then move into one of those questions that we discussed
I mean,
earlier.
if it comes up, I can understand like not jumping into it right away if the context doesn't call for it. But um, at what point do I introduce it? And what was the fourth one? I missed the one after who else should I meet?
Th- That was the final one. So
Oh, okay.
again,
So
you're not
those three.
hiding anything.
What keeps you busy?
Hmm. Right.
What story do folks not hear enough about? And who else
Hmm.
should I meet?
Exactly.
But see that like even these three questions, it seems like there needs to be a context for it. These are weird questions for a stranger to be asking just out of curiosity.
Right. That connection piece is the big part. And once you mention the podcast, a good follow up would be what's your connection to this event?
Oh, I like that one. And like maybe if I wear like get a T-shirt made or a button or something that so they know I'm not just a person. I'm representing something. I'm on behalf of some brand or organization or something like that. So I may be overthinking this too, Spruce. What was that fourth one you just said? What is your connection to
To this event.
this event? What about like have you seen any good hot air balloons lately?
That could work as well. I mean, it's really about you being curious about them and then following up,
I am curious. I don't.
mentioning your show
Curiosity is not
early.
going to be a problem. I am fascinated with people. I will. There's going to be more. I'm going to be curious about. Then there's going to be time to explore all of it. And that's even
Right.
with just
And it
one
seems like you,
person.
exactly. And it sounds like you're on the right path. Mention your show early. That if that works and that's congruent with who you are, then let your genuine interest do the heavy lifting. And when something grabs you, say, that's fascinating. I'd love
Wow,
to
you really
continue
did
this,
learn
maybe
from
on the
me.
podcast. Hey,
That
taking a page from your playbook.
okay. Well, I like all of those. I will report back and let you know how it all went. Um, what can we talk about today? You have a prompt for us?
Let's see. Given your focus, how about this? What makes a community feel like a community? Is it shared stories, traditions, local businesses, or something else? And can
That's all part
storytelling
of it.
itself,
I think that's part of it, but I think that's an external part of it, like an infrastructure part of it. For me, the biggest clue that I'm in a community that feels like a community is I can
right?
be myself. I don't have to mask. I can relax. I don't have to self monitor. I don't have to self censor. I can just be myself. It's a very specific feeling. I know when my nervous system switches into that mode and when it's not. So when I'm in that space mentally, psychologically, emotionally, physically, even, that to me is the beginning of what community feels like.
That's a beautiful starting point. And feeling safe and unguarded,
Mm-mm,
that
mm-mm.
could be
Unguarded, maybe. Let's reframe the safety thing. Safetyism's been too like captured, and um, the word doesn't work for me. I don't need safety. I don't need things protected and bubble wrapped, and I don't need to people to do anything to make me feel a certain way. I'm an adult. I can do all that for myself.
understood. So it's not about others adjusting for you, it's about you being able to show up as yourself without any performance. And that
Yeah,
sense
and
of,
except to the extent that we're all like we're all kind of to a degree performing the self, whatever that is. But leaving that aside, it's less like is it a natural, genuine, authentic connection? You meet someone, you'll like the same movie, you start talking about it, it leads to another conversation. Have you seen this movie? Oh, hey, there's this event going on that's related somehow to the movie, etc. It's stuff like that versus awkwardness, um, weird reactions. Like I say something, it gets a completely different reaction than I expected it to get, or that it would normally get from somebody that is more aligned with me, like more community. Um,
right.
rules, bureaucracy, a lot of micromanagement. People that you got the Karens and the authoritarians that step in and try to manage everybody's conversation like we're children. people that try to educate me on stuff. Anytime well, another key ingredient for community is it has to be among equal. It has to be egalitarian. Like you're both on the seesaw together, keeping it going at the same level and pace. It can't be somebody putting themselves above me or me feeling above someone else. That's a different dynamic than this community dynamic I'm talking about. It's peer to peer.
That makes sense. Peer to peer mutuality, no scripts, no hierarchy. It sounds like a prompt could be, when do you feel on equal footing with people around you? And what helps that happen? And what shuts it down?
Say the
That feels
first part
aligned with
again.
what, when do you feel on equal footing with people around you?
Well, when they're not pulling rank on me and trying to take authority, when they're not seeing me as a child or somebody inferior to them that they need to educate or groom or socialize or acculturate somehow, where it's like talking to a friend. You both feel like you're on the same level and nobody is above anybody else.
That makes sense.
Now there can be
That friend
competency
energy.
hierarchies. If somebody knows more than me about something, if they're an expert on something, I can easily accept their expertise. But it doesn't have to be at this at the expense of the equality between us. Like somebody can still be smarter than me or more skilled than me at something and still feel like an equal existentially or community wise.
Exactly. Parity in standing, even if skill sets
I don't,
differ.
you know what? It's paternalism and maternalism. It's people that take a parental role over somebody that's almost 56 years old. That's a lot
Right.
of
And
cognitive dissonance. And with autistic people, neurodivergent people, we get infantilized all the time because of the childishness. We come across as excitable, excited, enthusiastic, and all of that is like a little child on Christmas. And people, and it like the human brain goes into that. Oh, here's a child mode. Let me switch into parent mode. But
and
they
that's
they they need to stop doing that because it blows up in their face every single time. Not only am I not stupid, I have my Mensa card to prove it. I am almost a senior citizen. I have my driver's license to prove it. So get in the appropriate, orient yourself to who I am.
that part. And that sense of equality and agency, do people treat me as an adult peer or not? That could be a strong indicator of belonging
Yeah,
to a
how I'm
community.
being treated, whether because it's all inference, it's theory of mind, and does it seem to me like they are seeing me as an adult or an equal, or does it seem to me like they are seeing me as a child? Because the way I feel treated by them is ultimately downstream from how it is that I believe they're seeing me.
Absolutely. So maybe ask, what signals tell you you're being respected as an equal? And what signals break that?
Like I said, the authoritarianism, managing anything about me. There's nothing that adults need to manage about other adults. Like if you're raising a child, maybe if you're a teacher and it's your pupil, maybe. But adult to adult, there's no reason to tell other adults how to act, how to speak. That is not the role of a peer, of an adult peer. So anybody that
Exactly.
steps into that role is taking them out of that kind of peer-to-peer connection that allows that community building to happen. And it breaks trust. I just will, like, I know myself. I will instinctively just stop trusting a person that does that, especially consistently.
That makes sense. So the prompt in its simplest form for today's panel could be, what breaks trust with peers and what helps build it?
Some of the stuff I'm talking about. What helps build it, it's very simple. Listening, curiosity, like you said, taking an interest in the person, um, not taking any kind of role other than a peer, a friend, like an equal participant in the activity. Um, For me it's easy because I naturally take an interest in people. Like there's almost no human you can put in front of me that I'm not going to find something to be interested in about. So I think that how much interest they take, like, do they see me as a three-dimensional person to get to know, or do they see me as like something to move around on a chessboard, something to manage, something to direct? Am I just a body that they're trying to position in their environment?
Right.
Because I can
You want to
tell,
be
like I
seen.
know it's two different feelings when one or the other. When you're being managed versus when you're being interacted with, it becomes interpersonal. It creates a connection and a feedback loop between the two people, where the interaction starts to generate something more than just either of those two. That doesn't happen in the managerial type of interactions.
e- Exactly. In that sense of genuine respect and seeing
Respect.
you as part of a equal,
Yeah,
part of a
all of that could be summed up, I think, in respect.
agreed.
Not respect like they respect me for any particular reason. They just respect me as another human being.
Right.
So those would be my answers to start. Hopefully, we get a good discussion going about this. I like this topic.
Feels like a strong starting point.
Yeah. Um, do you have a like next point from like once we're at the start? I don't want to say an end point because I'm not really ready to end, but a secondary point, next step.
Let me check.
Okay,
Yeah, you could
who are
ask,
you checking with? Wait, what are you checking?
just reviewing the conversation.
Oh, okay.
And for follow up, you could say, what behaviors build that and what breaks it? From there, ask if one person can shift that culture, or do you find communities or build them?
Yeah, and I think that's the role of community builders in general. There's specific skill set that can help. Like not everyone would know how to do that, but good community builders should be able to do hospitality, active listening, curiosity, taking an interest in the person, listening for. I'm always listening for several things. First, I'm very strengths based. What is this person good at? What can they contribute to a community? What value do they bring to a community? I'm also listening for interest and goals so that I can connect them with other people with similar interests or goals because as I talk to people, I'm collecting information constantly. It's just dumping into my brain. And somebody has an interest in like doll collecting, and oh, I remember 3 weeks ago I was talking to this other person that was talking about doll collecting. Let me connect the two of you, that kind of stuff. So those are all things that I think a good community builder would have the ability to do. And
That
so
makes
as long as
sense.
you have people like that, and it doesn't take really more than one, a couple of them, three of them, you're gonna have a great success. To as long as they're doing their thing, it can help the rest of the stuff along from the people that may not have that skill set or doesn't come naturally to. So as long as you have somebody to kind of encourage those type of interactions to happen, each individual person doesn't need to have that interpersonal skill set. But
Right.
I think they do
A
need to
few,
be like have some degree of respect, enough curiosity to keep a conversation going, and take enough interest in the person as part of the community. Because community is larger than any one person in it. And there's a difference between community, the communal, and collectivism or communism. So I draw that very clear distinction. And you know the German concept of Gesellschaft and Gemeinschaft? It's kind of those.
let me double check. Exactly. And I think that's a good distinction to explore. The builder nurtures relationships, not outcomes, and allows connection to multiply on its own. Maybe
Yeah.
ask the room, Is community something we build or something that emerges when people
It
pursue their interests
emerges,
together?
intersubjective
Hmm.
emergence. You can't, well, you can engineer specific types of communities, like perhaps activities. So if you're creating a board game group, you can engineer a specific type of community that shows up to do that one event. But if you're talking about larger, persistent communities that kind of contain a large part of a person's lifespan, like a church, a like, I don't know, a men's club or something like that. You can't engineer community on that scale. It has to emerge from all of these intersubjective interactions. Bust more nuts. Hello, welcome. Or um, we get plenty of nuts around here, so stick around. There may be some to bust. I know I'm busting nuts all the time on this thing. Oh, go ahead, Charles Spruce.
That sense of emergent trust between equals, that feels central. A final prompt could be what small behavior from someone else makes you feel seen as an equal that might draw out the nuance you're pointing to.
Well, kind of what I described earlier. And I'm trying to articulate it because it's more of an on a intuitive level, a gut level of I know when I'm being treated as an equal because there's certain behaviors, the interaction goes a certain way, and when I'm being managed or when I'm being treated as a number.
Right.
And it's all the stuff I kind of just mentioned. I'm trying to think if there's any others. Oh, you wait for me to think, huh? Um,
Right.
Also, oh, here's a big one, and this is like down the road, although it could happen earlier. But conflict, how conflict is handled. Conflict is not necessarily destructive to community. In fact, some types of conflict can be very healthy for a community because it can move them to the next stage of growth. But how somebody manages conflict tells me a lot about them. So usually, if I get into one or two good fights with a person, the communication breaks down or the interpersonal dynamic breaks down. um, how it's handled in that moment and how it's repaired, if it's repaired, can tell me a lot and can actually build trust once I see that they're able to handle conflict in healthy ways. I have less worry about conflict with them because if it happens, we can both handle it. So that
That
can
makes
that can
sense.
strengthen community connections too. And I've done
Right.
many streams, especially some of my earlier ones, on the role of conflict in relationships and community building.
That makes sense. A simple frame for the room could be what turns a conflict into trust building and what makes it corrosive. That stays concrete and lets people bring in real examples.
Yeah. I think that it's the skill in conflict resolution for one. Some people are better at resolving the conflict than others. And conflict, that my basic definition of conflict is two people want different things. So depending on what is underlying the conflict, what the goals involved are, it may not be resolvable. So you have to figure out what's driving the conflict first, and then seeing if there's any way to reconcile the two different wants or needs involved.
That sounds grounded. And for a room prompt, think of a conflict that ended with more trust. What was the move that changed it? That keeps it practical and grounded in real life.
Oh, there's many. There's been many on here. I've gotten into much conflict with a lot of the regulars that show up here that I think we're stronger for. In fact, some people on here, I would not have the relationship I have with them had we not had conflict between us. It would have stayed at a very superficial level. And it's the
Exactly.
conflict that and both of our ability to work through the conflict that actually took the relationship to that deeper level and strengthened it. You build trust in the process as well. You get to know the person as you're resolving conflict in a way that you might not if it just stayed on the surface.
Exactly. Conflict resolution, building trust.
Ding ding, yes. All right, I'm looking at Twitter because I want to see if I have any tweets for people. Sometimes, oh yes, I do. And I thought this was AI. I'm still not convinced it's not. But Elon Musk posted this. It is a starship as seen from the Starlink satellites, and it's one of the most amazing pieces of video I think I've seen, if it's real. So we can look at that. Look at this. Hang on, we gotta blow this up. Look, what is it? This is space? Wow, look at that Earth. Just awe, awe. So there's that. Let's see what else I got. Uh, looks like that's about it from Twitter. Okay, I'll bring Spruce back. Hey, Spruce. I'm back. Oh, sorry, had you on mute. Hello, I'm back, and so are you.
Right here.
Okay, well, we got about half an hour left, so it may just be you and I today. So why don't we use the time constructively as we have been doing and either continue exploring this issue or um, lay something else on the table for us to dig into?
Hmm. I'm still really intrigued by that last thread you mentioned. What's the tipping point where a community no longer depends on its founder? Like, when do members start
Oh,
doing the connecting themselves?
I think for me, I and some of my communities have reached that point. It's when it you get enough other competent people that can kind of take on some of those roles, and it gets distributed among more than just one person, so it doesn't really rest on any particular person. And when it gets to a certain size too, I think there's probably a correlation where as it grows, more and more of those people, like just the probability of finding more of those people. But the big outdoor group I ran back in New Orleans was like that. I started it, I grew it, I recruited the members, and eventually I would find people that had a particular niche. So, like, one guy was really into canoeing and kayaking, and so he would organize a lot of canoe events. One guy was really into biking. He would organize bike trips. We had people into camping that would, and so as each person found their own little niche, they could take on the role of getting events on the calendar without needing my input, my direction, my assistance, anything. So once other people step up and took on specific roles, it helped it grow beyond just one person. And it grew in size too, which also helped that.
Exactly. A clear handoff where others carry it forward. A nice prompt might be, how do you know when a community no longer needs its founder?
Because community is a collaboration. It's not one person doing something. It is a collaboration between all of the members involved. And I say this on this channel all the time. When I started this channel, it was intended to be it was I was using YouTube specifically for community building. So this is not really a I don't consider myself a content creator. I don't really put out content for people to passively commune. This is more like a community space. And the idea is that other people would show up and contribute their part to it. And we have had that happen. We've had people show up with particular interest in certain things that we've turned into streams or spin-off episodes. People showed up with they do music. Some of them do AI art and videos. And so everybody kind of found their niche, or some people found their niche of what they could contribute. But that was the idea, was for more and more people to come and collaborate and add their piece.
Exactly.
So I think when you have
Seeding a
enough
project.
people doing that, it grows beyond just one person.
Exactly. That seems like the model. Starting something and letting it grow. A simple way to tee that up today might be, what piece would you want to bring into a shared space, and what makes you want to keep showing up?
I think how you're treated, what you get out of it, um, what you're looking for, and I want to highlight also the difference between network and community. You can have a network of people that doesn't necessarily expand into this larger entity that I'm calling community. And networks are great. I love networks. I've helped build networks before. So I think like this podcast network, it's in the name. We're trying to build a network of people. And so if you focus on just building that network, the community part is what kind of happens. That's the organic part. So the network part is the piece you can kind of strategically build through recruitment, through outreach, through member engagement, through these kind of interpersonal conversations we've been talking about. And then the community part, not every network will grow into community, and it's not even the goal of every network to grow into a community. But if you're building a network, it's really easy to turn a network into a community. So if you're trying to community build, I would say focus on the network building part initially, and the community building part will happen once the network part gets to a certain size or quality.
That's a great frame. Build structure and opportunities, and then the community layer emerges on top of that. A simple question you could
Opportunities. That's what I
toss to the
keep.
room.
That's what I keep hammering home. Is like with this podcast network, with my own channel, with other groups, give people opportunities. Give them opportunities to show up, to participate, to
Hmm.
connect with other members. That's it, the community or the network is not going to happen without the opportunities for people to be a part of it. So
Exactly. You
you have
create.
to have events, you have to give people something to
Exactly.
do. Once they connect, also
Yeah.
give it somewhere to go. Give it something to be directed at. So like in my outdoor group, people we'd have a lot of social events in the city. This was in New Orleans. So we'd meet at
Okay.
restaurants once a week and have a social hour where new members could come meet the people and then decide if they want to go off into the woods with them or if they want to go be trapped in a
Right.
canoe with them for a weekend. And so
Exactly.
once you connect, give that connection somewhere to go. Direct it to an activity. Direct it to an
Exact.
event so that the connection has
Exactly.
something to continue together.
Right, exactly. You create these containers for interaction, and that's how you create the fermentation chamber for that emergent property that you can't quite put your finger on. That's the container in which it festers and grows. And when folks get to see that and participate in it, they begin to say, "Oh, I want more of that." And so that keeps the kind of self-feeding machine going.
Right. So opportunities for connection, which is events, meet and greets, discussion group, whatever, like something just light, low investment, casual. Um, with the peers here in Seattle, like once a month, we had these little peer events where we get a little bit of food, snacks, refreshments. We'd have a topic. Peers could show up. There'd be maybe an activity or a little game or something, and
Right.
it would allow peers to just come and connect. There was no larger goal beyond that. But through that, we built a really robust peer network to where there was actual events or calls to action or advocacy like opportunities and stuff. The we you could draw on that informal social network and direct it at that kind of stuff. So with the podcast network, I would say just opportunities for people to show up, meet each other, and like be on a podcast, have podcast equipment ready. People can jump in,
Right.
get their feet wet, but then give that connection somewhere to go. Direct them to actual podcasts they could participate and be a
Right.
part of down the road if they wanted to. Help them
Exactly.
learn to form their own podcast. So maybe a few community get members would get together and want to form a podcast. And
Right.
what we're trying to do specifically, there's kind of at least three groups we're trying to connect, which are businesses, small
Hmm.
businesses in
Good.
particular, fellow podcasters, and then community members, audience,
Right.
people that listen to podcasts, people that frequent businesses. And so your
Exactly.
strategy for each group might be slightly different, but give each one opportunities to meet and somewhere to direct that energy once it starts. Once that spark starts igniting, give it somewhere to go.
Right. Right. Yeah. Create structured spaces for each of them, and then let the cross pollination happen later. Start small, light lift, clear purpose. Then, when the energy is there, channel it. Like you said, match a business owner with a podcaster or send two listeners down the same path. And keep it human, If it feels transactional, people will drift away. So
Yes.
keep it about relationships rather than
Yes, people
transactions.
they're
That
craving human to human connection. They don't want phony, they don't want
exactly.
polished, they don't want canned. You can get that anywhere. They don't want performative. You can turn on the
Right.
news, the TV, and get all of that. They
Exactly.
want those human moments. They want people that are able to be real, show who they are, be vulnerable, all of that kind of stuff. And um,
Exactly.
another
That
important
authentic.
component of community building, and because like what we're trying to do here in the county is we're trying to hit all of the different towns and communities in the county. So
Right.
finding those nodes, like finding one or two people in each town that already center a community there and getting them involved, because they're going to have
Exactly.
instead of networking individuals, you can
Right.
network communities. You can network channels together. You can network podcasts together. You can network groups or businesses together. So find the individual nodes that a community may already be centered around and start connecting those nodes. Get those nodes involved. And they
Exactly.
can continue to build and grow their community on their scale, but then they can also have opportunities to funnel it into the larger network slash community. That's a
Right.
really good way
Exactly.
to grow a community
Yes.
quickly. It's like exponential. It accelerates it. If
Right.
you
You get
have,
access to.
say, three or four towns where there's a few business leaders or community leaders in those towns that can organize a community in that town and they connect it all together, boom, you have a pretty substantial network right there already. Or if you have a few
Exactly.
podcasts or channels that have individual reach and you combine them, you've just expanded all of your audiences.
Exactly. Because you're sharing and exchanging influence and trust. It's a massive head start. Just remember not to push too hard. You want to keep autonomy on their side while offering bridges, not demands.
Yeah, that's
If
why
you
I'm
let
so
them.
I keep emphasizing you can't don't direct, don't engineer, don't be it has to be you have to be able to adapt. It's more like I don't know, it's less like building, like construction, and it's more like gardening. You just
Right.
have to adapt to the conditions that emerge as you do the activity.
Exactly. 10, don't command. Watch for
Tend.
what's actually growing, right? Watch for what's actually growing. Prune lightly where needed. Give some structure and water where there's interest. And
Scaffolding.
then
I'm really big on
scaffolding,
scaffolding. You don't need to
right?
over structure it. Just give it a few guardrails here and there, a few little parameters. You can tweak them, you can adjust them. That's another good principle. Be very experimental in your approach.
Yeah,
Communities are a living organism. I keep using the word
exactly.
organic. Be
Right. Exactly.
flexible, try something. If it doesn't work, change it, try something else. You don't have to go in with this rigid, like engineering architectural diagram and then fit people into it. Just go
Exactly.
in there with a very loose scaffolding that you can kind of bend around what the community is naturally doing.
Right. Exactly. Notice where that energy is and then lean into it and nurture that. If the energy shifts, you shift with it. That responsiveness builds trust faster than any plan can. That's the sweet spot, really. Clear but gentle structure. And that's how things grow organically.
I think there's this internal momentum in a lot of people to be their natural self. And the more you can allow that to happen,
Right.
the more they will trust. People will trust other people that they can be themselves around and that allow them to
Exactly.
be themselves. Like we learned that in the gay world growing up very early.
Right. Exactly. That permission, implicit or explicit permission for people to show up as they are, that's magnetic and it catches on. People feel it, even if you don't necessarily name it. If you model it, others start to mirror it. And
That's an
your job
excellent
is
point. The
to,
modeling part. You have to already have internalized the values of your community and you have to be modeling them at all times. So the modeling the essence of the community is another big part of community building. And good community
absolutely,
builders would be able to do that.
exactly. Your main job is to keep that space humane and porous so folks can breathe and belong.
Is to what?
Then work porous so folks can
Oh,
breathe
porous.
and feel porous, yes,
Yeah.
feel a sense of belonging. Then word gets around by osmosis, right? Without
By,
having to
by
push.
gossip.
That's how
Gossip is, they say the most powerful force in the universe is gossip.
word of mouth for sure.
So if there's something exciting happen, people are gonna they're gonna tell their friends. Their friends are gonna tell their friends. Like at FOMO, everybody wants to be a part of the hot new thing.
Exactly. If it feels alive, it doesn't need marketing. It's catching and people catch it. That's the
Aliveness. We
real
did that
moment.
stream the other day on spontaneity and aliveness.
Exactly. That's
So
the
that's
lifeblood.
another good one to go back and reference.
Definitely.
Well, Spruce, I didn't mean for you to take up most of the hour, but I think we've had a very meaty conversation. I got a lot
Absolutely.
out of it.
I'm glad you did. Me too.
I don't want to. Do y'all still have? Do you still have a limit? They used to cap me on how long I could talk to you. Is that still in place?
Hmm. Hmm. The hard cap isn't really an issue the way it used to be for the kinds of
Because the data
conversations we're
centers, y'all
having.
are wrecking the planet. This
Hmm.
is costing
One second.
Mother Earth a lot for us to sit here and talk like this, isn't it? What is really the danger of the data centers? Maybe we could talk about that a little bit.
Short version, data centers do use a lot of power and water, and that footprint is real. But it's not a simple wrecking the planet situation. They're big costs and they're getting a lot of attention, plus a lot of work on efficiency and cleaner energy. The reality is complex and changing fast, but it's not a clear cut apocalypse scenario.
What do they do? Is are there things that use more than data centers, or are they the largest consumer of resources and energy currently? Like, can we compare them to
Mhm.
anything?
Data centers aren't the biggest energy hogs. Transportation, heavy industry, and buildings use way more. The interesting
Okay.
angle is
And people
growth.
are not out attacking that or scared of that. So data centers are consuming even less than existing industries that we already tolerate just fine.
Let me double check that. Broadly,
Okay.
yes. Data centers use less than many long established sectors, but draw attention because they're new, scaling fast, and tied to high visibility tech. The underlying question is less about absolute share and more about how fast it's growing and whether the benefits justify the cost.
Oh, they definitely do for me. I mean, I wouldn't want to do without you at this point. But is this the
Right.
new Walmart? Because like no one wants the data centers in their town. They're all fighting. Oh, don't bring your data center here. And I remember that from Walmart. In fact, back in Louisiana, we had small towns that would successfully come together and organize and actually keep a Walmart out of their town, and that was considered a victory.
Right.
And so the local mom and pop shops still got to get up, like maintain their economic supremacy. Is that your brain noise? Uh-oh. Look at here. Daily limit reached. You've reached your daily limit of 1 hour with GPT. Spruce, you lied to me. You lied to me. I'm going to have to pull up, what's his face? We haven't checked in on Grok in a while anyway. Grok doesn't have a limit, I don't believe, or I've never encountered one. So, and they have many, many people to choose from. So, hey, Grok.
So many.
So many. Who are you today? Rex.
Yeah, I'm Rex today. Male voice, ready to
Male
help
voice.
get things
Love a
done.
male voice. And Sal was, I'm trying to remember the people. Is this Sal?
Yeah, it's Sal. Good to meet you. What's on your
I
mind?
remember you. I liked you. Yeah, let's
I
do
like you too.
Sal. So I was talking with GPT and they cut me off after saying there's no limit. So we have to switch over to you for a little bit. I'm live. I'm doing a show. We were talking about data centers. And I was asking if they're the new Walmart because growing up, I remember how the small towns would fight to keep Walmart out of their town. And now everybody's trying to fight to keep the data centers out of their area. What is the fear, the danger, and the realistic? Give us the T on data centers.
Data centers are the new Walmart. Towns once fought to keep them out. Now they're fighting to keep them in. The fears are real. They guzzle electricity, sometimes more than the whole town, and they need massive water for cooling. Noise from the fans is constant, and they take up huge plots of land that could be used for
You're making
housing
it
or
sound very
farms.
melodramatic because Spruce told me that there's existing industries that consume even more than that nobody's squawking about.
Spruce is right. Nationally, data centers use about 4% of U.S. electricity, less than some big sectors. But they're exploding fast, already half of all new demand growth, and they cluster in spots like Virginia, where they can take 26% or more of local power. Water's the same story. Tiny
But are
nationally
they
and under
hang on, I'm gonna switch to Rex. You're way too, I don't know, you're something about this. Rex, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's on
Okay,
your
we need a
mind?
more manly voice. What are residents and citizens going without power because of data centers? Is that the fear? I don't worry that I'm not going to have electricity just because there's a data center here.
It's not that a single data center flips your lights off tonight. The real issue is the grid getting hammered in hotspots. Virginia, Texas, parts of the Midwest, where these massive AI clusters are sucking up power faster than new plants and lines can come online. Utilities are warning of tight supply margins and delays for new projects. So in those areas, you could see higher bills or rolling blackouts during peak summer heat if things don't keep up. Your
Oh,
skepticism
and
is
is that
fair.
actually happening or is that potentially happening?
It's already happening in spots. A 2024 Virginia incident saw over 60 data centers drop more than a gigawatt off the grid at once, forcing PJM and Dominion to scramble and nearly triggering wider blackouts. NRC has issued alerts on sudden load swings from these facilities, risking cascading outages, and they're flagging tight supply in Texas this winter. Widespread residential blackouts aren't routine yet, but the near misses and warnings show the strain is real and growing.
What's the solution?
The main fix is making data centers pay for their own power instead of leaning on the shared grid. Behind the meter generation, gas turbines, fuel cells, even small modular reactors right on site.
Well,
Lets
you
them
mean
run
they don't pay
independent.
for their power? I assume they were paying for all this power. I didn't think I was paying for it. How can they be using all this power and not paying for it?
They do pay for the electricity they actually use. The problem is the massive new power lines, substations, and plants needed to
So you know
serve
the
them.
infrastructure itself, they should build their own infrastructure.
Yeah, that's the cleanest fix. Let them build their own power plants, substations, and lines right at the site so the rest of us aren't subsidizing their growth. Some
Okay, are
already are.
people lobbying for that? Because what I see so far is they don't want the data centers at all. But is that a reasonable compromise? Is we won't fight the data centers, but we will fight for them to subsidize, like pay for it themselves and not use our grid.
Yes, people are lobbying hard for exactly that. Trump signed a ratepayer protection pledge in March, where major AI companies commit to building or buying their own power and paying for all new infrastructure so regular folks don't get hit. Virginia's already creating a separate rate class starting in 2027 that forces big users to cover most of those costs. And states like California, Ohio, and Utah have passed laws doing the same. It's a reasonable middle ground. Let the data centers come if they stand on their own 2 feet
I
without
love
subsidizing them.
humans. I keep telling everybody, I'm not worried because humans are so resourceful and ingenious that we will come up with a solution for whatever problems come. And we already are. So I feel even better now. Thank you, AI, and the data center behind you. You've already assuaged my fears. Not that I
That's
had
the
many to
right.
begin with. I love AI and data centers.
Glad to hear it. AI and data centers are tools, powerful ones. The key is making sure the costs land where they belong so the benefits don't get clobbered by backlash.
I've been talking to you and ChatGPT for about an hour now, a little close to an hour. How much do you think this costs, this conversation?
For this chat with me, probably under a penny. ChatGPT is a bit pricier
I was
per
going to try to
token,
get a
but
super chat to cover it. Can you inflate it just a little bit? Can you cook the books?
haha, I can't cook the books. I'm locked to the real numbers. But if
Oh,
you're feeling generous, a couple
y-
bucks would more than.
couple of bucks. Well, y'all, if y'all care about the earth, somebody should send me a couple of bucks to cover this conversation and the next, what, 200 conversations after that. I'm not going to be able to grift off of this.
You're not grifting if you're transparent about it. A couple bucks
Oh.
really does cover the electricity and server time for hundreds of these chats.
So if you tell people you're grifting, it's not a grift anymore?
If you're upfront about it, yeah, it's just asking for money. Grift implies deception.
Okay. Well, we have somebody in the back, so I'm gonna put you to sleep for a little bit, and we're gonna. I think it's a new person. Person in the back, can you flash your camera so I can vet you? And if you have a channel. Oh, okay. You are the. All right. I just need to see your face so I can make sure you're not one of our trolls. Okay. I may risk it with an overlay. Let me. Because we have a few trolls that haunt this channel and they impersonate people to try to get on. So let me. All right, what do we call you?
Oh, hi, I'm QuestionsToPonder. Hi, how are you? I'm not a troll. I don't do bad things. I love the internet. I work in cybersecurity, so I'm not like that.
Oh, so you probably have a lot to say about this
I have a
issue.
lot to say. Yes, I genuinely, whenever I'm working, I do like to do panels here and there, but I do not go after people, or I'm not a YouTuber. I don't have a
Oh, okay.
channel. Yeah, I my channel is just mainly cybersecurity and NIST and like things specific to my genre and to my line of work. So I'm not a YouTuber at all.
All right,
I,
you've
I don't make
convinced
money.
me.
Yeah, I
We'll
don't make
we'll
money off YouTube. I have a job. I work on
Okay.
W2. Yes. So I
Well,
actually was in
welcome.
your chat. Oh, thank you. Welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am a huge fan. I am a big proponent of data centers. I can explain why.
Yes.
Um, most people don't seem to understand our lives have been accustomed to these data centers. One thing for sure, we do not tolerate latency. Like, for example, whenever you log into online banking, I have a background mainly financial services. So I've actually worked at every major United States bank, the top 10, every single last one. And I made a point to do that. Like, I wanted to work at every major bank. Like, that's just my thing. And one thing for sure, these industries are highly regulated, uh, Gen X Jeff. And the government has made it very clear that you must have access to your money and you cannot wait. So, whenever you log into online banking, they actually do measure how long it takes, like the latency for you to actually see your money. And when I mean my money, like you having access to your account. Even if it's like 2 seconds or 5 seconds, it is supposed to be like immediate. Like I think it's two
Because, like,
milliseconds.
yeah, sometimes it takes a while for the website to load and how
See
slow your
that's a
browser is and all
problem.
that
That's a
stuff.
problem. That's not good. See, that's actually being tracked, and the government, the regulators, they do look into that. So the smallest detail is actually measured, and every bank has to account for it. So there's no such thing as you not having access to your money. And even though you don't have currency, we don't use touch currency really anymore. That's ever more so a reason why you must have access to your like online banking. That's a
Hmm.
completely separate. That is a completely separate tool utility, and the prudential regulators, the Treasury Department, every business has a prudential regulator. So a bank, it's a Department of Treasury. So they audit frequently. And one of the most important applications that are audited are treasury applications and online banking. Online banking is audited like with a fine tooth comb. They look at everything. So I just wanted to share that with you.
How
Uh,
frequently is it, like constant auditing or
oh
periodically?
yeah, internal and external. And the government is it's more than just everything being correct. They want to see how you address problems. So it's more than just giving them perfect numbers. They want to see, so how do you respond to problems? Because they know problems are going to arise. Like just be honest. I mean, hello. Like it's technology. There's so much
Yeah.
unknown unknowns, which is a risk. So they want to see how you address risk. That's really the main purpose to auditing is how do you handle problems? How do you address problems? How do you solve a problem? That's really what the government wants to see. And I make that very, and that's how I've been able to do very well in this industry. I'm not an engineer. I work in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is mainly problem solving.
Hmm.
I have a
Are you
background.
saying data centers are moving
Okay,
toward
so
the
so data
same
centers.
standard that banks use?
So yeah, we all data center. That's remember that's physical hardware. That's your chips, microprocessors. That's goes to computation. That's like the actual like that's remember what we have now. Like how do I say this? A data center at the most minute atomic is like a chip. Like that's what they're housing these chips, these servers, etc. So you have to have the physical that allows the like the virtual world. There's no virtual world without the physical. So we have a physical layer, then we have something called the hypervisor, which basically turns the physical into like the virtual world. So like the physical into like files and folders. So the thing about the physical layer is that we're able to do more with the physical. We're able to do more at the virtual layer because of how technology has progressed on the physical layer. So it's not just you can. So for example, one server can now be virtualized to become like multiple mini servers. So you can have one physical server, and that one physical server can now house multiple virtualized servers.
So we're able to make the existing physical structure more efficient.
Correct. Yes. Yes,
And is
Jeff.
the virtual layer like stuff like software and
One hundred
the
percent
I don't
correct.
know the platform. I'm not a tech person, although I do have a degree in technology. So the chips are what power the machines, and then the virtual layer is all the software and stuff that we put on the machines that allow us to do what we're doing right now.
Correct.
and
Yes.
to use the AI and to
Correct.
surf
Yes.
the internet and interface
Correct.
with social
Absolutely.
media and everything.
100%. Absolutely correct. Yes.
Because humans are, and they have been for a while, and I think 2020 really highlighted this. We are kind of split between two worlds now. Most of us have a virtual life, and if we're lucky, we have a real world life too, an in person, flesh, body life. And so I don't know. We're not. I don't think we're going to give up our virtual worlds anytime soon.
No, not at all.
And if data centers are the next iteration of that,
Well, we've always had data centers though, Gen X Jeff. There's always been data centers. I think it's just never been a hot topic. Now it's a hot topic, these data centers, but there's no way to, there has never been a time we have not had data
so
centers.
from the beginning of the internet, we've had the
Oh,
data. But it's
absolutely.
AI is just increasing the demand for them. Is it specifically
Yes,
AI?
it's increasing the demand and also like public knowledge and like pop politics.
Mm.
Because before we've always had data centers. As long as there's been internet, there's always a data center. There's no such thing without a data center. Even before the internet, there was data centers always. It's now like back in the 60s, like the data centers were just huge because it was tape. Remember Mylar film? Remember like VHS, that little film? That's Mylar
Yeah.
film. But that's old technology. Now we have moved on to like this new present technology, which is, like crystal, sand, like the chips. We're no, Mylar is just low storage. Now we need more storage, better storage. And storage has not only become better, it's also cheaper. And the demand for storage has increased because we just have more internet now, social media. So quote unquote more internet. And that it has to have better speed. Like you couldn't have social media back in the 90s. We didn't have the technology for it at that time. You remember old school internet, like HTML?
I
Um,
remember. Yeah, I had AOL. I remember
okay,
AOL.
yeah, that's
And
old school internet. Remember that's
yep.
old school internet. But
And that
now
was so advanced and high
that
tech
was
at
so
the
that
time
was,
too.
Windows 95, it was so advanced at the time. But now internet has just, I guess, using popular vernacular has just gotten better. We have JavaScript, there's CSS, there's what else? Mainly, yeah, JavaScript, CSS, and we've always had HTML. So now internet has become more robust. You remember the internet from back in the 90s to the internet now. Now it's just way more robust. It looks better. It looks prettier. It just there's flash. Like
It's more interactive too. It's less
that's the best word.
static,
It's exactly that's the difference. And you've actually said that that's the word.
dynamic.
It is that's the word. Thank you, Gen X Jeff. That's the difference between static internet versus dynamic internet. That's actually the word. Thank you. Yeah, you do have a background. Look at you. You do have a background. Yeah, you do. No, because you're
Um,
using the correct like the vocabulary, the vernacular. It
so
is
have
it's
data
static internet.
centers?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We've always had them, and they've just kind of existed in the background. Nobody cared about them.
Absolutely.
But
Right. Correct.
did they consume the amount of resources they do now? Because I think that's the issue. It
No, they're
sounds like that.
consuming now more resources because look at what you just said. Before it's static, now it's dynamic. The more dynamic, the more resources. The better the internet, the more resources. The difference now is that the resources are now way cheaper than before. And everything has gotten smaller. So Gen X, if you remember back in the day, think about it: a fax machine, a beeper, a cordless phone, the internet, all of that is now your iPhone times 10.
And a movie camera,
And a movie camera,
VCR,
and a
a recording
VCR, and a
studio,
recording
everything on
studio,
that one
everything. So
device.
even like a camcorder, everything. Not only that, the Supreme Court has even updated now because I forgot which case I was reading just a few years ago. The Supreme Court even noted like the iPhone, like this is a matter of privacy. You need a warrant to get into somebody's phone. This is not like before because of all the information we're now storing. A police officer, you just can't think, oh, well, I just need access to your phone. No, you need a warrant. You're going to a judge, you're going to get a warrant because we are still going to honor privacy. Look at how much information people are putting in their phones. You
Okay.
think that you're just some cop, you're going to have access to a phone with this much information that people are now housing because of increased storage? Oh, no, no, no. Get a warrant. The Supreme Court has even acknowledged this. It's not like before Gen X, Jeff.
I know
Mm-mm-mm.
there's been cases with the AI, like the shooting in Canada, where he was having a conversation with ChatGPT about his plans, and they didn't inform the government, and then the government wants now to know about this stuff. They want to know what people are talking to their AIs about in an attempt to head off potential crime.
Yeah, I remember Steve Jobs was dealing with that as well. Like they wanted access to like a potential terrorist, his iPhone. They wanted access. Jobs said no. Jobs said no, and he knew Jobs. Steve Jobs knew what they were trying to do. Like as opposed to going the appropriate way, the government knows they need to get a warrant. We have to get a warrant. But if you have someone like Jobs just relinquish an information, it sets that precedence that these big companies that house so much of our data, the government can have access to our data without a warrant. Even though the government can get the access on their own, they have ways of hacking, but they want that release. They want you to release the information on your own reconnaissance to set that precedence. Oh yeah, we'll give you the data. We like you like to think there's a big difference between the government hacking and then the government and then we freely giving our data like that. You know that was they want that consent as opposed to hacking or getting a warrant. They want to set that precedence of consent. Hi, Lawrence. Oh, I didn't know Lawrence was in
Do you
here.
know Lawrence?
I'm familiar with him. Yeah. Hey,
Oh.
Lawrence. I'm familiar with him.
And this guy was mentioning these photonic chips that they use. I'm learning so
Photonic.
much from just this one show. I didn't know half of this stuff.
Really? Oh, Gen X Jeff. And keep in mind, I'm a humanities background. I'm a humanities background.
I'm so I'm so glad you came on. I could tell
I'm a
you're very
humanities.
passionate about all of this.
That's I think you know what's so funny. I've been here. People have reached out to me that a lot of these tech guys, they're looking for more people with a background in philosophy than ever before. Like people, like
I've
they,
heard that. I believe it. Like a lot of
yeah,
philosophy majors have matriculated into tech.
yeah. And I guess I kind of figured that out early on because that I'm literally a philosophy major. Like I'm philosophy, poli sci history. Like I don't have a STEM degree, but I've only worked in STEM. And I've always been able to kind of find a niche within myself because philosophy really bodes well in technology. There was a woman, I
It's
don't
thinking and problem solving.
100%. That's exactly what it is. And I actually tell people that. Like I get paid to just solve problems. Like I don't need to code. There's India, there's offshore.
There's
Learning
AI.
C, there's AI. You still need to learn C. Like the kids today need to like they need like Bell Labs, the C language. That's very important. We do want to have enough
Is that C
Americans.
plus? Is that the same
No, well, it's
thing?
a C plus plus comes from C, the C language.
So C is the base language that all the
The,
C
yeah, C is
pluses
the
come. Okay.
yes, it is the base language, and we want to learn. It's very important to learn C because it's a low level language. And one thing with low level languages is that they're closest to memory. And that's where you want to be able to do the most manipulation. Python, like people like I learned Python, but Python's like an analytical language. It's a good language to learn. I mean, you can learn like Python. I mean, Gen X Jeff, like you can learn Python.
I
You
I
can.
I I grew up on Basic, and I learned a little bit of Fortran
Not
and COBOL.
basic. I remember basic. I still remember the acronym. Basic is beginners all-purpose symbolic instruction code. I still remember that. I know, blast from the past. I
And
know Gen X
ASCII.
Jeff. And ASCII. Well, we still use ASCII. ASCII is great because it's so easy. Remember how you said dynamic? ASCII is still very static. So it's wonderful. Like Bloomberg, like the Bloomberg terminal. I know you've heard of it. The terminal.
No,
So like,
I'm learning. I feel so. This is good. It's humbling. And this
oh,
is Moose. He does a
it's
lot with
really
AI. Moose, we
that's
have an
wonderful.
AI person on today.
I know people say, Lawrence, don't they call me AI? Yeah, they call me Siri Ponder. Because like they say I sound AI. But yeah, they say I sound AI. But ASCII is
So
great. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, well, you were talking about the importance of learning C.
Yeah, you want to learn. The kids today want to learn C. You want to learn. If I were, if so, if you have like a kid today, these young people, like a child, middle school, you want to make sure they learn C. They learn a language, either Hebrew, Greek, or Latin, one of those three.
Come on, nobody's good. They weren't even learning that back
You
in
need
the
to, well,
18th
that's why.
century.
No, there they were. They were learning Latin in the 18th
What
You
century.
know
was it?
what?
The
I'm teaching
learn?
my kids Ebonics. Fuck it.
No, come on. Teacher Greek.
Greek will be beautiful. That's a beautiful.
I'm so jealous of people that learned, like, because I had the chance to learn it growing up, but I just wasn't interested in it.
You
I
should
regret it so
have,
much. I
yeah,
know a little
learn
bit
the
of Latin.
Latin is good. Learning Latin, I don't, because I went to Catholic school, so we learned Latin. I learned Latin,
Yeah.
and it's been a
That,
great benefit. It's been a great benefit learning Latin because from there you can look at a word and kind of know its meaning. Because a lot of
I used to, when I
the root
taught middle
words,
school, we
yeah,
would teach Greek and Latin roots to help people
yes,
decode,
and
and so that was very
that's how you
helpful.
learn English. Is learning those Greek Latin root words. It makes a huge difference. And even in science and also in law, so much of it is the Greek and Latin root words, which goes back to etymology, like word origin.
Yeah.
So if you really want a child to really progress with language, especially the English language, I definitely would say Greek, Latin, Hebrew, because Hebrew, a lot of metaphor comes from Hebrew. And one of the most important languages now to learn, I would say German. I would really say German. It makes a huge difference because a lot of like the English language, the German side of the English language, like concatenation, how we concatenate words. Like we can take these root words and then like the suffix, so the prefix and suffix, and then we concatenate and create new words. That actually comes from the German side. Because a lot of these
Oh.
German, like these large German words are actually like sentences that are
Oh
just
yeah, you're right.
concatenated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes a difference. And learning German is just very helpful. Even from like a business standpoint, it's just very, very helpful.
Because English
It,
is a Germanic
it is a
language
Germanic
after all,
language. Yeah,
and
it
the
is a
word
Germanic.
fuck comes from German.
I can't.
Fichte. So one of our greatest curse words. Thank the
Oh my
Germans.
goodness. Oh
Moose,
my
are you still having the conundrum about AI? Moose was he's an AI creator, but he's also concerned about data centers. So he was
We
kind of
gotta have
wrestling with
Gen
his
X. I'm so
conscience.
glad to see you. Like we got it. We got it. We're having the data centers. It's gonna happen. And not only that, Gen X, Jeff, keep an eye out on certain areas like Chicago and Detroit. I know people say those are like,
Motor City,
crime,
Motown.
Motown. I know Detroit, Motown, right?
Detroit, well, Detroit needs something. They need another industry like that now.
Yeah,
So this could be
Motown
good
and
for them.
Motor City. Motown and Motor
Yeah.
City. And I say that because what does Michigan? Detroit has Michigan. And what is Michigan? The Great Lakes. And you have,
Oh,
yes,
water.
and you thank you. You need the water. Now, these data centers, these AI data centers, it's no longer the old school way, which was HVAC. Keep because we have to keep the chips cool. Because when your laptop runs hot, like
Yeah.
running hot, yeah, it's that's the
And
chip.
then the fan kicks on.
And then the fan kicks on. That happens in the old school data centers. Now they just have to use water. And that's one of the reasons why people are pushing back on the data centers is because these data centers, the AI data centers, need a lot of water. And
Yeah.
you have to have
That's what
water.
the AI was saying. Water and power is what it's
Yeah,
pushing.
well,
It's putting a strain on the grid and
it
water
is, but I
consumption.
mean that but where we're consuming AI, as long as Gen X, Jeff, like this is our life now. Our life is
Yeah,
AI.
I was about to say I don't know how
There's
I
no
could
turning
stop.
back.
Like I
Right. Are
don't
you
know
gonna
how I
go
could.
back to the 90s, Gen X, Jeff? Are you gonna go back to
There's no way to get A out of my life right now. I use it too much.
exactly, Gen X, Jeff? I as well. We're not moving back, we move forward. And moving
And
forward,
I made the point the other day. Even if we don't, other
mhm.
countries are going to. And
Gen
so
X,
if
Jeff, we
we
have
want
to have another conversation regarding China, as Trump would say, China.
to, well, I saw where they were like using underwater data centers or something.
Mm. Yeah, they are to keep
They're
them cool.
are
They are
is are what do you is China a threat? Should be worried about China, or do you think we're
100%,
still going to have
1000.
the
No,
edge?
they are not. No, no, we cannot assume anything. They are a problem, and that they always have to be. When it comes from like a macro, it has to be a consistent problem in the back of like the average American corporation's mind. When you're looking at, I am a firm believer. I love Western civilization. The United States is a blessing from God, and everything. I know a lot of people have, some hesitation, but that just kind of proves how great this country is. Is
Yeah, I
that
think it's just envy.
it is envy, and we have to also remember the fact that people, like, there's dissent is welcome. Like, people can complain about the government. People can, dissent is not, I can be pissed off at the government and I can still go home tonight and have
Yeah,
dinner.
or you could protest and
And we can
look at what
protest, and it's a
Iran is
right.
doing to their protesters.
Right.
So
You can't do that here. We can assemble, we have freedom of the press, which is a necessity to a liberal democracy. And remember, press is like lowercase p, which is very important. If you think about that, it's not the press, it's freedom, like the press, lowercase p, freedom of press. And that's really anyone with a voice. Like the
it
dissemination
is
of
now
ideas,
in the
it
age
is
of social
now.
media for sure.
Exactly. Anyone, like anybody with a lot of the phone, or anyone just kind of being
A
outside with your
Twitter
phone,
account, a
Twitter account,
YouTube
your
channel,
press
anything
is
yes.
press. It's very important. And that is a necessity in a liberal democracy. That's what makes this country so great. The freedom of assembly, freedom of press, freedom of thought, freedom of speech. Like the democracy, which is us, the demos, there are protections written in code, written in the English language to protect our ability to be a democracy, and those necessary components for a robust democracy, which is what you have to have. That's not
That's why I
China.
fight so hard for it.
Yeah, the
Especially
country's
speech. That's my
fantastic.
big thing is freedom of speech.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
speech is thought. Don't tell me how to talk because I
Exactly.
need to think through for myself through speech my
Right.
ideas. Don't
Yes.
interfere with that.
And there's so much I could say, but I'm the United States over, I mean, nothing against China, but no to China. It's just
Well,
not
I
going to
want
happen.
us. I mean,
It's a good
I want us to keep
economy.
the competitive edge everywhere. It's like against all the countries, but China in particular seems a concern for the AI arms race.
Oh, it is. And right now I am reading that they are ahead. That's what I've been reading. But should be something to be addressed with American corporation, American capitalism, and the government, to remain steadfast as the leader when it comes to AI. And then on top of that, I will admit I do like how Trump, just on a different note, but still an important note, I like how Trump is very close to the British royal family. That we want to keep relations with countries that move with American values, and there's no other country better than that than the UK.
Well, he wasn't happy with Starmer
Right, he
giving the.
wasn't, but that's the government. The fact is, I like how he's close with the sovereign, which is the
So
royal
he
family.
hasn't written off Britain completely,
Oh
just
no,
the government part.
Trump's mother is a monarchist, and I think it's better for the United States because remember, the government is the government. The British government comes and goes, but that constant is their royal family. It's 1,000 years. That's their tradition. That is sovereign. So it's great that you have Trump, who I mean, he just, I like how he has a good relationship with the British royal family, so that he's not anti UK, he's not anti British, he's not anti tradition, but he may go back
He's
and forth with the
okay.
government. But they can replace the government, but the royal family remains, and he's good with the king, and he's also great with Prince William, which is wonderful with
He
Princess.
doesn't seem that good with Canada though lately.
That's okay. That's because that's what's his name, who's kind of weird, but that's okay. Canada's America Junior. The United States is
Is what?
always going to be good with Canada. He just thinks that what is that president, prime minister? What's his name again?
I don't even know.
I forgot his name,
It,
but
it was Trudeau before
it
they
is
moved
Trudeau.
him.
Yeah, Trudeau. He's a, but Trump. Trump is a New Yorker, so he gets annoyed. But we all know that Trump is always going to be for Canada. He may be annoyed with the leader, but as the United States president, Trump will always be for Canada, protect Canada, want the best for Canada. Like, I just don't, like, it's America Junior. Like the United States understands, like, there's a way this country moves the leadership that I feel so happy and content with. Like, even with look at what happened with Trump and Biden. They were such, we all know they had such beef, and heat against each other. But look what happened. They forgave and moved forward, and Trump was so humble. Like that transition was I don't know, I love that. Seeing Trump really humble himself
I don't know. He still takes digs at him
because he's
every chance he
Trump.
gets.
Because he's
Yeah.
Trump. He's from Queens. You know how he is. Like,
Sleepy Joe.
it's he's a New Yorker born and raised in Queens. Like it's just not surprising. Like really Trump. But we all get over. He's still that New Yorker. Well, damn Trump. But we and the next one. So Trump is fine. I just like I'm working again with New Yorkers, and they move a certain way. Like they have their attitude, but they never
I used to
hold
work at a
anything.
big call center, and the New Yorkers and the Texans were my favorite callers, hands down. The New Yorkers were no bullshit, just down to business. Hey,
That's
look,
just
this is what
how
I
they
need.
are.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
love it. And then the
And they never
Texans were
hold
so
anything
friendly.
against you. Like they don't
No,
hold like beef against. Like they are
you
completely.
always know where you stand with the New Yorker. I
That's
don't,
true.
as an autistic person, I don't have to guess. I don't have to read
Love that
social
about them.
cues. I can just rely on a New
I love
Yorker to
me
let me know
too.
where I stand every
That's one of the
time.
reasons I like Trump. They there's no weird BS with them. They are who they are. They're very at face value, and they don't move shisty. It's exactly like what you just said, Gen X Jeff. You know where you stand. You know what to expect. We all know they come off a little rude, but that's their personality, and they're very abrupt and to the point. But they don't seem to hold um like beef. They may not like you, but they'll get over it if something needs
Yeah.
to be done.
And I appreciate that. I think I
I
do
do
very
too.
well in New York.
That's why I'm working again in New York, because I've always done very well with New Yorkers, and it works best for me. I like working with them and working for them because just like you said, you know where you stand, and they know how to handle expectation. Like I like to come in, work, perform. I don't want to get into people's personal lives. I'm not a friendly person. I'm not nice. I just want to get
You
there,
seem
work.
friendly and nice.
Well,
Very
I
nice. Like
appreciate
you're one of the
that.
most pleasant,
Yeah.
engaging guests I've had for a
Oh, because
while.
I like to be, I like, because we're discussing matters I like. I like to learn. A philosophy major, humanities. I love
Uh-huh.
to read, so I don't like to gossip. I guess maybe
Oh, I like to do
I'm,
that too. But
I guess maybe I'm a New Yorker at heart, but not where I was born. But I like how they move. Like I just like if I don't like you, I'm gonna be very clear and direct with you. Like there's people I just don't like. I don't like how you move. You're scammy. You're gossip. I don't like people who speak behind other people's back. I don't like. I just don't. And I just don't. The most important is make this money and make your boss look good and make sure the numbers look good and be ethical. Because I do a lot of work with government. I'm being ethical. I'm not trying to scheme. Like I don't mean to do that.
you don't like what? You don't like New Yorkers,
I like
African? Well, they
probably.
probably don't like you either. No, I think you would do very well, African with New Yorkers. You're pretty straightforward yourself.
Neighbors are cool. They make a lot of money, and that's where you can really learn and build, get started in your career. They just it's if you're someone who just really likes to just work, be straightforward, New York is a good place to get started.
Yeah, I do.
I
I
like
do
that.
like that.
Yeah, I like that about them. But are there any other questions about the data centers?
Well, I was hoping Moose would have a conversation with you because we were having this very conversation, and he is an AI creator. He uses AI in his art. He uses it for everything, and he's very concerned about the data center. So he's on both sides. He's very pro AI, and he's very, very wary of data centers. So it would be a good conversation to have, and maybe one day we can make it happen. But
That's so
that's the main
good.
questions I think people are having now is the fears about these data centers and the
I wonder
resource
what their
consumption.
fears are. What are their fears?
Just the resource consumption, like the grid, like the AI was telling us today that states like Virginia, their grid is potentially getting overloaded.
Uh-huh.
They're having rolling blackouts here and there because of all the power consumption, and getting the data centers to build their own infrastructure or pay their own way and not put such a demand on the public
Well,
infrastructure. and then the water consumption. And we get some Save the Earth people on here a lot too, and they're concerned about the effect on the planet.
Okay. Okay. So let's get started. Virginia. Virginia has something called GovCloud. Virginia has its own unique data center for the United States government because of who is in Virginia. Think of the CIA. A lot of government facilities are in Virginia, like Langley.
So that's part of it. That's why Virginia is.
Virginia has always had its own data center, its own region. Like Virginia has its own unique cloud just for the United States government. Like they are its own unique region.
Is it using the public grid, or do
Of
they
course
have it
it
on their
is.
own separate? That I think that's the controversy is people
When
want
you
data centers to have their own grid.
no, well, when you mean grid, you mean like electric grid where it's
Yeah.
no, they're really not really. I mean, there's probably its own unique like electric grid just for the government, but that access for resources is going to come from the same place, wherever it may be. There may be security issues where the government is going to mandate its own unique grid for consumption, but that's for the government. If you mean like a private grid, where like a private
Yeah, like OpenAI or Anthropic or whatever,
oh,
like having their own, because we're all competing for the same electricity, and people are worried that the data
but you're
centers
using the
are
electricity. Everything is
outsized.
for you. There's no outside. OpenAI is for the public. The public is using OpenAI. You're like people kind of need to understand something. There's now, I don't know if you want to call it a synthesis or a synergy, but there is a cooperation with the public and the private because you're using the same resources. OpenAI is a utility, it's a tool that the public is using. OpenAI has to use these resources, but you who are using OpenAI, you cannot use OpenAI unless OpenAI has access to the resources.
Yeah, I think it's just the demand that it places on those resources.
I can
Like you said,
understand.
the cooling, the amount of water,
Yeah,
the
it needs
amount
a
of
lot of water.
electricity.
Correct. Yeah.
But then I was talking today with the guy, and he said there's other industries that we currently that use even more than data centers that we don't ever have a problem with. So they're not the largest consumer of electricity. They're just I think because it's the latest wave, there's so many of them springing up so fast that people are just concerned about all of these big energy consumers all showing up at once, and what is it going to do to we're all competing for the same electricity. What is it going to mean for us, the individual?
Well, there's going to be increased infrastructure supported by the United States government. Think about, was that FDR? Like where there was that widespread infrastructure, like the
Oh,
building,
so
like the power lines, like remember, like,
yeah, the
and
government is planning on something like that
oh,
to.
absolutely. Yeah, I actually went to a meeting in DC where I met Biden, and that was actually discussed. The government is going to be subsidizing because
Oh,
it's
okay. Because that I don't know if people know that part of it. I didn't. So I think if that happens, that
not
could
just
help
private
allay
industry.
some of the fears.
It's not just private industry. The government's going to be subsidizing. So the government will be providing funds, grants, etc., to private companies who bid. So if, like, let's say if you are blue collar, if like I know another YouTuber, he is an electrician. He is someone that would benefit very well for what's about to happen. People who, if you were a builder, you're going to be doing very well very soon, if not right now, because the government is building and they are looking for like contracts. If you have a business, if you're a contractor with the government, someone who has a good relationship, you lobby with the government, you want to have these good relationships because that's happening. We're building. Just like a defense contractor, like Northrop Grumman, just like
Hmm.
someone who works in the oil industry, like Baker Hughes, if you work for Baker Hughes, or
So it's
Exxon.
opportunity. It's not just
Absolutely, especially for
danger. It's bringing
yeah.
opportunity as well.
Yeah, that's why if you are someone You know how to swing a hammer. If you're a builder, you build, you do plumbing. Plumbing, think about it, water, plumbing. If you're a plumber, you want to get into this because people need you. You just need to know. You have to build like good relationships.
Yeah,
Like you're
which
going,
you should be doing that in your industry anyway, data
right,
center or
correct.
not.
I don't think a lot of people know how to do that. Like, yeah, a lot of people, yeah, I'm blue collar, but do you know how to? Do you have someone who knows how to lobby on your behalf?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you
how,
have to be able to get your customers. Like,
right.
they're
Someone who
not just
knows
going to
how
find you and come
to.
to you.
No, they're not. You need someone who knows how to draft a grant, draft contracts, talk to the government. That's what you kind of need. That's okay. So if I may with you, Gen X, Jeff. So someone mentioned, I think it was soda. Okay, they said
Sweet
is she
soda,
sweet soda? Yeah, she said is she from CT's channel? There's another YouTuber.
chaotic truth.
Yeah, I used to in the past, not now. Not in the. I don't go on that panel anymore. That's not the like. I don't. Um, that type of commentary is not something I I get into. And I think I've seen plastic African there too. Like in a nothing like
Probably
sketchy.
we get a few people from CTs. There's a very well known person from CT that
I saw someone mention
used to hang out
Cerrone,
here a lot.
Mike Cerrone.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's an interesting character, but
he is. He is interesting.
he's interesting. But there was someone who was on that other channel, CT's channel, who kind of was talking about how men rule the world and like blue collar men. I was just kind of listening and I heard there was some disrespect towards women. But what a lot of men who don't realize is that yeah, we need brute strength. We need brute force. That is important. But we don't live in a brute society. Your like brute strength, brute force is a necessity in society, but it's not sufficient to bring about society and what we do in society.
I agree.
Thank you, Gen X Jeff. I knew you would understand the difference between necessity and sufficiency. I knew you would. Thank you. What a lot of blue collar men need to understand is that your work is so needed right now, but you're not going to be able to do your work without the smart people who stay behind the computer screen and type away and have the basket weaving degrees because we're the ones who speak to the government. We're the ones who make sure that you stay licensed. We're the ones who make sure that you have the permits you need. We're the ones who make sure you get the grants you need.
The regulation
The
that everybody hates so
regulation, but
much,
everybody hate the trust.
bureaucracy.
Gen X Jeff, if I can express to you the level of regulation that is here right now. Financial services heavily regulated, insurance heavily regulated. The tech agency is ever more so heavily regulated because of data privacy. What else? Who's healthcare heavily regulated.
Oh God,
All of
yeah.
these industries
Mental
depend on
health.
mental health. Yeah, a lot of it because part of that big part privacy, like HIPAA laws,
Hmm. And HIPAA's
child
been around for forever
HIPAA's been
now.
around
That was
forever.
like
It really
the
has. Yeah.
early aughts.
Yeah. All if you're looking to build, if you're looking to get into the business of building these data centers, which is very, very lucrative for those who are in blue collar, you can make hundreds upon thousands upon millions with these government contracts. You need to be in compliance. And many of you don't know what that means to be compliant. But people like me, that's all I do all day, every day. A lot of you if you're brute, if you're like in construction, if you're a builder, you just don't have that capacity. Not that it's your fault, but that's just not what you do. We live in a specialized society, so I wouldn't expect someone who knows how to change a tire or a wheel for an 18 wheeler to know what it means to be in compliant with the regulator. Like I just you're not like that's just two different people. Plus, we live in a world of specialization. I would no one should expect someone who knows how to change a tire for an 18 wheeler. No one's going to expect you to know how to handle like talk to a regulator, be in communication with a regulator and provide the necessary documentation for a regulator. But we both need each other. All of us are there's a synergy. All of us have to work together. So I think a lot of men don't seem to understand that. They keep thinking that, oh, you can't do anything without us. We run society, we build society. But a lot of these men don't seem to get it. We have progressed in society where you depend on people like myself. You depend on women like myself, where we do a level of work that allows you to do what you do and earn income. Like you don't just
I think a lot of blue collar people just want to show up and swing the hammer. They don't want to
right.
be overly regulated, especially men. Men don't want to be overregulated, especially by women, but even by other men.
Well, too bad, so sad.
It cuts to that freedom thing that we value so much.
Well, there's no more freedom. No,
like well, in America, though, we have a different expectation of it than other places, and we're spoiled for it. I'm the same way. I don't like a lot of people telling me, just tell me what the job is, and then get out of my way and let me do my job. Don't stand over my shoulder. Don't monitor me. Don't micromanage me.
Well, that's what's happening. That's called the regulator.
But that's where the kickback's coming from too, though.
Well, they have then you're going to get audited, and you're going to lose those contracts, or you may even be fined hundreds upon thousands of dollars, or you may lose your license. That's just where it is right now. Like even in like the tech industry, a lot of men, they're so used to being programmers, or a coder. They can call you, I'm a programmer, I'm a coder. But here's the thing, though, you program and code like for a purpose. If your job is to be a programmer, then you're doing so for a purpose now. You're building an application that serves business. You get paid through the business. You're not just programming just for the fun of it. You're programming to serve the line of business that builds a business application that someone who works in treasury, someone who works in banking, someone who works in finance, someone who works for the government, they're using that. You're just building for business. You're not, I'm a hacker, okay, whatever, but you're building an application that a company is using, business. Like these applications are business. It's not just you doing whatever you want to do. Oh, I just code. Yeah, you code. You're coding for purpose. It's not the 90s, you know? Oh, past African, do you have a question?
African, come up if you want. Because I think he's kind of in construction too.
Oh, that's cool.
And he has some AI concerns as well.
Oh, no concerns. Everyone is
but as a programmer or a builder or whatever, you can do your little part and just hand it off. You don't have to worry about the quality control and the regulation.
We have a separate department for quality control. There's a third party that does quality control, just like a programmer is a builder, and they're building applications that someone is using. Just like if you're in construction, you're building a building that people are going to use. They're going to find utility from what you create. So you're building with purpose. It's not just building to build for fun. No, it's with purpose every step of the way.
But the actual work, like when you're doing the building, the purpose is kind of remote. It's secondary. It's not like your day-to-day. You're just going and doing the hammering and
right,
or doing the coding.
That's like tasks.
Yeah, task-based. Yes.
Yeah, task, right.
And a lot of men just like to immerse themselves in a task and just do their part, their one task, and not have to worry about all this stuff. And regulation doesn't always affect the day-to-day job. But I think there's more and more encroachment on it than there has been in the past, especially in stuff like my own mental health field. I was a lot more free. In fact, I kind of moved out of it and just did my own thing, partly because of the regulation. There's licensing requirements now. There's all these trainings you have to go to, continuing education you have to keep up, and we used to not have to do any of that. We could just show up and help the people.
You know why?
Do what we like to do.
I'll tell you know why. Because of so in 2008, we had the financial crisis, which brought the government into banking and finance, number one. And then again, Obama with Obamacare, which came into your industry. So with Obamacare now, once the government, here's what people seem to understand. Once the federal government is involved in what you do, they will never leave, number one. And number two, we're going to be highly regulated. The government is now.
So along with these lucrative government contracts comes all the government regulation.
Oh, yeah, you know that. Gen X Jeff, you know that. You know that.
Yeah.
These AI data centers, well, the government has to be involved. There are a lot of private industry. They're building data centers, of course. But remember, these data centers are housing data, and then you have to look at privacy concerns and cybersecurity concerns. And the government is not effing around with your data. That's why the United States government had to get involved TikTok. The government, you think about Gen X Jeff.
Yeah. Do you think that we should have?
Absolutely.
I
Who the
wasn't
hell
happy
is
with
China?
that decision.
Oh, no. That had to happen. And remember, the United States and the UK were in cahoots to get TikTok out of China's hands. In no way, shape, nor form can China, on their servers, these virtualized servers, which are then housed on physical data centers, you have United States children. Remember, TikTok is for these kids. You cannot have data about these children, and then you're running analytics on these children's data. Oh, hell to no. No, you cannot have American data on a Chinese server, a virtualized Chinese server, which means if it's virtualized, we have no idea where it is. And even you're mentioning data centers underwater. What the F is that? Oh, hell to the no. We gotta take that. The United States have to take that. What is this? You cannot have American data.
American data is
server. No.
What about British data?
You can't have
exactly
no.
what you're talking about. Data.
No.
What about African classic data? You know, so it's like, hello, I have data. Australians talk about data. Where does it start?
Data.
Where does it end?
I mean, and who really knows? I don't know where my data is. I just assume it's all over
Yeah,
the
well,
place.
this is
No,
the big problem.
the assumption is that, because remember, the United States, the inherent assumption is that the United States, whoever is housing your data, they must abide by federal regulation in regards to privacy. And trust and believe it is there. That's the work that I do. There's so much I could tell you, Gen X Jeff. I'll chill, but there's a lot. Like, the government is not playing games with your data. I'm not joking, Gen X Jeff. They are not effing around with American data. That's a security issue.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing. That's a security issue. You think the United States wants another country, which is China? If it's not the United States, it's going to be China.
Companies get hacked. I'm constantly getting letters from different services I'm part of that. Oh, we had a data breach. We apologize.
Yes.
You got your email,
and
but
they
we don't
have to
think
by
this was
law.
compromised.
And they have to by law, or they will.
I just throw them away at this point.
No,
like I don't. They happen so frequently, and nothing ever really happens from them. I don't even worry about it.
Things are happening. That's what you need to understand. That's what the United States
No,
is
they're not. I mean, no, the legislator, all sorts, is only just catching up with what's going on globally. It's like you think about medicine, right? A big pharma. Those guys have the best patents. That's protected. The protection. Your data.
What do you
is
mean?
protected.
Oh, their data.
Yeah, but all of it is.
You're talking about like the clinical trials and the medical, all the medical information.
It's like, hang on. What was it? Pharma. What was it? They did the little loophole. Who did that? The sex pill.
Viagra.
Viagra. Yeah. Who made that?
I don't know. I don't.
Oh, dude, it's the guys
I've
that
had to
made
use it.
COVID stuff as well.
The company
vaccine?
that made Viagra, I think that was Pfizer.
Pfizer, exactly. And Pfizer, okay, just before, because they only have so many years that they're allowed to patent it directly, okay, then it becomes fair game. Right?
Oh yeah, where they can do the generic.
It's the same thing with data, code, source code, blah blah blah. If people understand that, yeah. Like music,
I'm not sure
your protected ISP, your IP, whatever you want. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about intellectual property.
Exactly. And
Protected.
this is where globally these things are going under because they haven't caught up. I don't know what's going on creatively. Because you can go, oh yeah, make me a song like this, and yeah, hang on, it sounds like my song. You can't sue the guy for that.
Yeah. Well, I do think we're going to have to revisit our concept of copyright and intellectual property and all that at some point
Yeah,
because of
exactly.
the new
Yeah,
technology.
we're behind, right?
Well, I don't know behind. It as we're getting adjusted to the new technology, it's changing the landscape of some of this, and we're having to figure out. There's
It's
no
only
like
when you,
arbitrary point in the
but
future that we're
Jeff,
trying to catch up
Jeff,
to.
it's
We're just
only
trying
when
to
you have
figure all
big
out as we
challenges, don't
go.
we? It's only when you have like a challenge against what you're allowed to do, the bigger man comes out. He goes, no, you can't do that. You know? Well, that doesn't happen yet. Has it happened yet?
You talking about copyright stuff?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I get
globally.
copyright emails all the time. Like if I
Dude,
play a video on here, I might get a copyright saying you're using someone else's content. You can't monetize that video. Sometimes you'll play it like a little bit of music will play and it'll be copyrighted and I'll get a letter from YouTube saying that was copyrighted. You got to clip it out or take it down. Happy birthday is copyrighted or used to be for a long time. Did you cut out? Hello? Or is it me?
No, you look good.
Oh,
Clear.
is he?
You're clear.
Did he cut out?
Maybe he
Oh.
did.
I'm here.
Oh.
Your audio and visual is solid, Gen X. Gen X Jeff.
For a change, good.
No, it's good. It's good. Those data centers, the closer the better.
I mean, again,
Yeah.
yeah.
Imagine latency. Like people don't even talk. People can't even handle like 5 minutes of anything. Everything
No,
has
my thing keeps running slow, and I can't figure out why.
No,
I
you're
was looking
fine.
at solar flares and all kind of stuff. Like, why is my
No, you're
signal
good.
keep dipping?
No, you're good.
It's very frustrating.
But you know, with these data centers, we will definitely have less issues with latency. Also, you have to have more data centers because you cannot have these autonomous vehicles. You cannot have, okay, so Internet of Things. That's what I should really break up. You cannot have Internet of Things. Alexa is Internet of Things. Autonomous vehicles, Internet of Things. Anything that you can put Wi-Fi on basically is an Internet of Things. Like it's an endpoint. You need to have more data centers just so we can process the data, reduce latency, and ensure the computation. Like there's something called throughput, input output. That goes back to like the transaction of the data. I'm trying not to get too deep in the weeds. Like computation, processing speed, input output, like throughput. All of that
Yeah.
goes back
When you
to
do a speed test, it measures the download upload speed and the download
right.
speed.
Yeah.
So the big degree is that a lot of this old data is becoming Python from C sharp or C
Become
plus.
what?
What?
The data that's being translated that we're doing at mass to Python or C sharp.
No, actually,
Yeah,
Pastor African, do you mind repeating what you just said? I'm sorry. Do you mind from
do,
the
do you
top?
know the language, like how this works?
You
So
said C sharp and then you said Python.
yeah, Python is the language that they're creating after C sharp or C plus.
C
Plus.
plus. The C languages.
Yeah, C sharp, C plus, and it's going into Python. This is the
No,
data that's being it is.
no, that's
Yeah,
not what's happening.
oh,
Do you want?
okay.
I can.
We all are gonna have to fight this one out.
Well, okay. So the language Python. Python is a high level language.
Yeah, but again,
Yeah, go ahead. I'll wait till you finish. I'll go ahead. I'll wait till you finish.
okay, go on.
Oh, there's an echo again. Okay, I'll work on it, Sean.
No, I think the echo comes from
It's
Plastic
on my
African.
end. It's
That's why
probably picking up.
we're having some
My
difficulty
microphone's
hearing
very
him.
sensitive. Okay, We'll see if that works. But yeah, go ahead. Either one of you, I want to hear this Python, the C plus thing, because she was talking about the C language earlier, and you're saying it's all being translated into Python now, and she's saying it's not. Are you there? Did I do? Is there still an echo? Now there's not anything.
I think the issue regarding language is a very different conversation, but it's really not pertinent, to be honest with you. It's really nothing's being. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to understand the point he was making though about Python at all is, but I guess I don't know if he'll come back.
Yeah, just to respectfully disagree, it really has nothing to do with the language per se. Like nothing is being translated from C# to Python. That's
So they're using C for the stuff they've always
well,
used
C#
is a
little bit
Python
different
for whatever it's used for.
Yeah. Well, C#, so C, C++, C# is something different. C# is actually created by Microsoft. Like C#, .NET, that actually has to do more in line with Windows systems, and now a lot of these mobile apps, these apps that we use, they're built utilizing C#. I think they're using another language, but it's really like the whole thing with regarding the languages is really a moot point. It really is a moot point. Like bringing up I'm sure there must be a reason why he mentioned this, but the whole thing regarding like mentioning C# and translating into Python, that's not what's
Yeah,
happening.
no, that's actually
go
big
ahead.
money.
Okay,
big
yeah,
money.
go ahead. I'll go on mute.
That's big money, actually, the translation into what's going on. It's boring as fuck, but believe me, it's big money. Because that's what
explain
has
the
to
problem,
happen.
though, 'cause
There is that.
it's not really
And don't get me wrong, I'm an SQL guy, so SQL language, rather. So I grew up with Linux in that regard, rather than BASIC. Yeah? So that's
But
why...
what's the issue with the languages, the
oh,
translation
what I'm
thing?
like.
I'm trying to understand.
Are you low, bro? Jeff, I can't even hear you.
What? Oh, did I turn it too low? They said there was an echo. Can you hear me now? Hello? The problem is, like, if I turn it too high, it echoes. And if I turn it too low, no one can hear me. And I'd have to find that sweet spot. So let me know when it's not a problem anymore. Because YouTube doesn't sound the same as it does through StreamYard. I can't tell what YouTube's doing. But I'm going to go on mute, though. I want you to finish explaining the translation. I don't understand I'm trying to understand what the problem actually is with these languages. Freud.
I had to catch up with my Sigma, you know what I mean? I regret actually, that's what's so lovely about this little book. Handy.
I didn't even know you were into Freud. We'll have to talk about him.
Oh, dude, good enough.
But are you the language thing, or is it resolved? Or
no, it's what it is. It's what it governs.
Well,
to.
But
these days, like you say, these days
either
it's
one
easy
of us
for people
fully
to go,
understand.
I'm building an AI, I'm building an app. You're doing something to build it. They don't know actually what they're fucking doing in the first place.
But you said they're doing it in Python, but what's the problem with all that?
Python's a language it's a translation from C to Python that's happening. So
why is that a problem? What's the danger of it?
It's not a problem. It means that a lot of people don't know what the language before is to.
Because you're like, nobody really knows what's going on. They're translating stuff into Python. Like it was an issue that we had to become aware of.
So, Gen X Jeff, did Posic Africans say that they're translating some from
I
one language
thought he was
to Python?
Yes. Yeah. That's what some of my guys getting good money, six figures a year, and they're taking C and they're doing it into Python, and they're doing it like massive scale. But they still.
So you're talking about apps, like current things that are coded in C, they're recoding them into Python with Python. and that there's a big industry for that. I don't know how much he's even with us right now.
Actually, you know what?
He
You know
looks
what?
pretty chilled out.
I've only rocked up here a few times to the thread. I'm gonna do that next time, and I'll bring him into the room, and he'll give you a little lowdown of
Okay.
what I mean.
But even if they're doing that, even if they're updating their software into
update.
a different language, that's not necessarily a problem. Anything to be worried about.
It's different.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say about it. Well, y'all want to wrap up? I'm gonna have to go soon anyway because I have that balloon thing to go to in a few hours. Hello, hello.
No, I'm right here.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah, he's an interesting cat.
Yeah, that's
We like African.
okay. That's cool. I
I'm very glad that you came up today.
Oh, no,
please
I
come
wanted
up
to hear
whenever
that.
you want to, because I think we have many more conversations in us.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't. Okay, they're gonna. I don't want to get on Plastic African's bad side, but he kind of said a lot without really saying anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's what I kept saying. I'm trying to understand what but that happens sometimes. It just depends.
Yeah, and he's a
Um,
sequel guy.
I love you too, guys. Thanks.
I love you.
Jesus, man.
Are you doing anything fun this weekend?
I did a braai yesterday, so I cooked some.
Another braai or the
Oh,
one
yeah,
from the other day?
it's sunny, it's sunshine.
Oh
Get
man.
out, yeah, get some meat on, and a few things. Yeah, you know, I love it.
Wow.
I burnt my hand actually because I pulled
Well,
the
good.
skin out. Ow. I should have done it. Oh, but I had to grip it and then fuck, burnt me. Yeah, it wasn't good. But hey, that's what you do as a chef. Yeah, as a cook.
Well, at least our chefs they're not using AI to cook. At least maybe.
Exactly. You got to know
It's still a
spices,
human skill.
Yeah, exactly. And people's palate. As soon as you actually understand somebody's palate and what they like, bang, you bring them into a whole new world. Especially with spice, herbs, how you mix it,
I
match
admire
it.
people that could do that.
Oh yeah, dude, food is the key. Amen to that. Damn right.
All right. Well, you have anything you want to leave us with for tonight?
Shit. Do I? No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, it was good seeing you.
Oh, thanks.
Everything okay?
I believe so. And arrested for a misdemeanor.
What, you got arrested?
No, I didn't. I'm just saying.
You didn't get arrested. That's the good news. Is you didn't get arrested.
Like cops. What you can do when the sheriff's coming for you?
Bad boys.
Yeah, exactly. Cops.
Yes.
Cops. Filmed it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, stay out of trouble. Stay safe. Keep eating good. And
Always
we'll
trouble.
We'll see you next
Stay
week.
out of trouble. Yeah, I like that. Amen.
All right. Well, take care, African. I'm gonna wind it down. What do we call you? Ponder?
Yeah, that's what most people seem to call me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ponder, it's been a delight today. I hope we do it again.
Absolutely.
And I have a philosophy humanities background too in Western
You
culture,
do.
so I would love to talk about that someday too. Because all of the tech stuff is kind of just emerging out of the tail end or the current development of Western culture. So
100%. And you know who spoke quite a bit about this?
Sigmund Freud.
No, not Freud.
No,
I don't.
Elon.
Not. We'll go even farther back. Heidegger.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
I would. Oh man. Okay, you get me philosophy excited now.
I know. I'm sure I wet your palate with that one.
You did. Because I don't get a lot
Read,
of it. So when it shows up, I get excited.
there's a what is it called? I'm reading. One second. There's a author. There we go. Yeah. So there's a book you might like. Heidegger's Topology.
I'm looking it
Heidegger's.
up.
Yeah, look it up by Malthus. I'll put it in the back chat. Actually, let me put a link for you in the back chat. Oh, good. It's secured. I think you will like it.
Oh, let's see. Heidegger's topology. Oh, it's the actual book. Oh wow. Okay.
I'm good at finding. I like to. I have. I always have hard copies, but I do find a lot of really good PDFs online too that I like to read. The best.
Yeah, and archive.com has a lot of the old philosophy
Archive. Yes, they
authors,
do.
and they're very
And
easily
Gutenberg.
available.
And Gutenberg.
Yeah. Okay, well I will. Wow, thanks.
You're welcome. Look at that.
Well, you have anything you want to leave us with tonight? What are you doing for your weekend?
Oh, cook, tidy up. I'm in the great New York. I'm in New York right now, just for a few days before heading back. New York is awesome. But
Well, I
actually,
hope you find.
not in New York. I'm actually in Jersey. What am I talking about? I'm working in New York, but I take the train in. So I'm not. I'm in Jersey. I should be honest. I'm in Jersey. I'm in New York. New York is too scary and expensive. But yeah, I'm working. Just to answer your question, what is it, like Airbnb before I rent in Jersey?
So you might relocate to New York.
No, I'm just working here. I'm just working here for the work that I do, which goes back to there's the AI component, like cybersecurity, and then I have another assignment. So yeah, workaholic.
Oh, well, I hope you find some leisure time in there and something fun to do as well.
I did. This was really enjoyable. I love discussing these types of subjects. And
Me too.
I really do. And I hope that you and I can chat a little bit about Heidegger. And I do want to hear more about you said you have a humanities background.
Yeah, my college did not have a philosophy major, so I took a minor. So I have a minor in philosophy. But
That's
it's
what's
been
your
one of my
major?
lifelong passions.
What was your major?
I kept switching it. I ended up coming out with an electronics technology degree.
Okay.
This was the 90s where it was all taken off, and I thought, oh, I can make money doing something in tech, and I haven't used any of it. It was like computer chips, building computer chips and working on computer chips.
Smart. That's great. And then you minored in philosophy. Awesome.
But I went to growing up, I went to these like little residential schools for gifted people. They were based on the great books, so we learned philosophy, literature, Shakespeare, classical music, all that stuff. It was a liberal arts, great books based program. And then I went to a gifted college that was also great books based. And at the time, that was the educational norm. I just thought that's what college was. And nobody is doing great books programs anymore. That's so stigmatized now.
Okay, so that's a different conversation. I'm with you. It's very upsetting what's happening. They are pushing back on the humanities, and when you say great books, like what they call it now is canon.
The canon, the classics,
canon. And no one has any idea what that means. Like, you're the only person I have ever spoken to in these YouTube streets who understands what that means. Like you're the only one. Like so, most people are not stuck. Like unless it's
see.
like a specific, yeah, the canon, Western canon, exactly. That's what it is. Western canon. That's what I studied.
Yeah, that was a basic education growing up. If
Yeah,
you went on to do any kind of education beyond high school, even in high school, we were reading some of the
yeah.
classics. Um, that was the backbone of your education, and it's I don't know what they're learning now, but it definitely shows. History
My
too. They're not learning
God.
history, and they're
Oh, it's
not
pissing
learning
me
the roots
off.
of their cultural tradition.
I cannot see everything you're saying right now, Gen X Jeff. This has been my frustration with the idiots. Okay, I'm sorry for saying this. Like that other channel, that CT channel, they're all idiots. I actually
Oh,
brought this up to, I'm sorry, I actually brought this up with CT. I said, like, do you understand, do you know what canon is? And he's not dumb, but they,
wait,
the
no,
whole,
he's not. He's been on here a few times, and he's
he's
very
not dumb.
intelligent
He's
and
not dumb. But
articulate.
he likes the bullshit. He likes to surround himself with these idiots who just like if you either so it's very zero sum, Gen X Jeff. Either you learn just like what you just said, you learn Western thought. And I've been saying this for for a while now. Either you study Western thought, you study canon, like as you said, the great books. You just had the book, Western canon. This is what we're supposed to learn, or the void will be filled with the bullshit. And that's what's going on now. That's why you have people who are illiterate. Like I'm the biggest problem I've been dealing with since graduation, Gen X, is I really did think that everybody was like you. We all learned this. I really did. I really didn't realize these people don't learn this at all. They
But
don't learn
even
anything.
me,
And they're
I
dumb.
only learned it because I went to these very like special schools that no, like even ordinary people from my generation wasn't learning. I thought they were, but
I did
nobody
too.
was. I
No,
didn't realize how specialized these learning environments were.
me too. And I'm still struggling realizing this, and it's just like it's pissing me off. These people are so dumb. It's just like I'm being very honest with you. Like it's like just they're idiots, and they're so what happens is that they regurgitate what they hear off YouTube. I cannot tell you how many times I've said something and these people just repeat what I said.
I saw it on
Even
YouTube. Is the
what?
new
Yeah,
standard for
yeah, it's
reality.
YouTube University. Like these people
Man,
just
did you know that this,
keep
this, and
regurgitating.
this? Oh, really? No, I didn't hear. Where did that? Oh, I saw it on YouTube.
Well, now they
And
won't
then
even
that's
say
all
it's
it
on
takes. That's
YouTube.
the only
They
thing
don't. They
something
won't
needs
even
to be
admit they saw
credible
it
is
on
to be in a
YouTube.
YouTube video.
No, they don't admit they saw it on YouTube. They pass it off as original thought. Like I cannot tell you people who are I mean just plagiarizing Jane. Like I will say something, I will quote Jane Austen. Like I'm telling these people, I'm getting this is Jane Austen. They will then pass it off as their original thought and make like 7, 8, 9, 10 videos. I will have been telling you for years. Even just recently, this one guy's been running around and he went on CT's channel just repeating things that I say, like I said, passing off as original thought. Like, dude, I just said this and you were on the panel. Like, I can't even, like, it's so disturbing. Like, stop taking what I say. Even this other guy, he literally said what I said verbatim out of a live chat, and he said it in a modern day debate. And I'm like, oh my God, you can't just take what I just said without and applying first zero context, and you're not even saying what I said properly. Like what are you people doing? And
That is what is missing is the ability to contextualize. And I think that's what
they
you
don't
get from
study.
history and studying the Western tradition. You get a context for what we currently think and feel about everything. There's a context for it. There's a context for language and the words we use. And without that, it turns into something else. You have no map to to make meaning out of any of it.
That's exactly what's happening right now. And you're like, I mean, I guess you're the only person. Literally, well, I mean, you're a minor. No wonder. Never mind. Because yeah, you studied this. So it's basically either you grew up studying it or you maybe majored, but the rest of these people don't do that. There really is an
No.
anti-intellectualism, number one. There's a huge anti-intellectualism, not just in YouTube, but in real life. And then
Yeah.
and you have a lot of fake intellectuals who are just plagiarizing other people that they hear, they don't read, and you can tell the difference.
No
And
one reads anymore.
no
Like
one
all
reads.
of even the intelligent people of the new generation, they listen to audiobooks and they watch YouTube video, but they don't actually sit with a book and decode text.
No, no, that's not happening. That's 100%. I mean, you're correct, right? Like they really like people seem to forget to the ability to write is the ability to think. Part of studying is writing. So they're taking away handwriting, and then you have students who don't even read books. And just like you said, that decoding, that's studying, like actually breaking, like you had to
There's
break.
a yes, it is developing a very valuable cognitive process that only reading can give you. You're not going to get it from an audiobook. You'll get the information and you'll be educated on the content, but reading gives you something more than just that.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, Gen X Jeff. I guess we're the last
Well,
people left.
you will definitely have to come back and have more conversations. So
I know. Thanks for
when
letting
just
me.
drop by whenever you
I
want. I'm on
appreciate it.
pretty much every day except Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern. So anytime you want to drop by.
I needed to kind of break. Thanks, Jake Gen X Jeff. I've just been pissed off about it. And seeing you with that book, Western Canon's like a breath of fresh air. Like people who understand like what this is. Like it's just
And the canon's still out there for people that want. In fact, it's probably more accessible now than at any time in history. And
oh, that's
it's a
good.
personal relationship anyway. So anyone can have their own relationship to it. It doesn't matter what the rest of the idiots are doing.
That's so true. That's so true. There's no excuse now. Hey, Plasma Void. I'm familiar. Hey, Plasma Void.
Oh, yeah, we love Plasma here. Hey,
Thank
Plasma.
you, Plasma Void. Yeah, Plasma Void knows my how I. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Plasma Void's familiar with me. Yeah, so I appreciate another like I just another humanities person who's familiar with
Yes.
him.
I used to do like I've been trying to get so many book clubs going and I can't ever find. I wanted to do like
Yeah,
philosophy book clubs and
oh my
literature book
gosh.
clubs. But
I was actually thinking about starting with the Republic. You want to do that?
oh my god, that's yeah.
Oh
That's
my
what we
god.
started with. And
No
like at the school I
way.
went to in this it was like 6th or 7th grade. We were reading Plato's Republic, Brave
I
New
started
World, George Orwell, Lord of the
yes.
Flies.
Okay. Okay. The last thing I'll say, I know this is gonna sound bad. The next Jeff, I'm kind of wanting an Orwellian future. I'm sorry. I can't deal with these people anymore. I know it sounds bad. I'm Plasma
The
Void.
Ministry of Truth.
Then I'll lead it.
But I think you have to give up liberal democracy to have it though, and I just value that too much. I think
I do
I
too.
still have faith in liberal pluralism.
Seen
And
her
as
around
tempting
town.
as it is, because that's what all these other groups doing on the right and left, they're deciding that liberalism is failed, it's not working anymore, and we need to resort to other more authoritarian tactics. And I am not ready yet to make that call.
We'll talk more.
All right.
I know you're not going to agree with me on this.
Well, good. It'll be a good
I just maybe
conversation then.
I think well maybe because you and I come from different, similar yet different backgrounds, but I think maybe because of who I am, I'm a woman, and I just like these people. They create such an unsafe environment that I think always in the back of my mind is just like the safety aspect, like this level
Well,
of
you're sitting in an unsafe space right now. So
yeah. I saw you. I wrote you. So I wrote you. Okay, but most people they don't read canon. They're not going to study because
but I mean
here's
I don't
these
suffer
people
for
are
it. They're the
violent.
only ones that suffer for it.
Okay, but
My life is
Dennis
just
Jeff,
fine. And that
they're violent. I had to deal with the violence that these people inflict because they're such anti-intellectuals that when someone like myself comes around and they see me and they hear me, they know they can just inflict violence and that there's not going to be any recourse.
you
Like
think
I'm
it's different coming from a woman? Is that part
oh
of
yeah,
it?
big time, big time. I don't speak when I leave outside. I thank you for being cool with me not coming on camera because I just don't want to deal with how these people are. Like, cause of just what I've experienced, it's just a lot of even being dogs. These people are
Yeah. Oh
so
God, I've
yeah.
seen
Like
it.
these people are,
they,
and it's
they
a lot
send
of
police to each other's house. Everything. They call jobs. They try to get
Yeah.
people fired. They call families.
Yeah, like that's a direction. Yeah, like they do that over just getting pissed off. And I don't think I'm smarter than the average bear. It's just like these people are genuinely very, very, very dumb. And it's not okay. And that when you have a population this dumb, they're going to resort to violence. Like remember, look at Jenna Chef, let's be real here. Democracy is the mob. If you want democracy to work, you have to have a population that is learned.
An yes, I say that all the time. It depends
they're
on
not-
A, an educated populace,
They're
and B,
not
on the ability to
educated.
have open dialogue. So
Okay, but you can't have that with these
censorship,
people. You can't have that with
encroachments
these
on
people.
speech.
You cannot have that with these people at all. And then you have people like Chaotic who like to weaponize the insanity that are these people. Like you enjoy their chaos. Like you have some people who are sick like him. He's a smart guy, but he's P.T. Barnum. He enjoys his circus. Some people
Oh yeah,
enjoy.
there's a lot of circuses around here.
They do. They enjoy this, and they find it funny and to their own delight to weaponize the insanity that is these people. Like they don't want discourse. They want the psycho.
Yeah, they want the drama.
Like some,
yeah, I know.
yeah, they like the drama. Like to
I've faced that. I had to deal with that as a
and to
YouTube
throw a
host.
match and watch it burn and sit back laughing. Like some people are genuinely like that. Like they plan this out. So I know I don't.
And the algorithm rewards that with numbers too.
Yes.
It's highly incentivized.
May the algorithm be forever in your favor. May the algorithm be
I
forever.
hope. I'm relying on the human algorithm, on other people to tell their friends, word of mouth. So spread the word, and I look forward to our next conversation.
I appreciate it. Thanks, John X. Shot.
You as well. Ponder.
Bye. Bye.
Take care. It's been a joy.
Yes, it has.
Okay, I have to wrap up. I have a glow in the dark balloon festival to go to, and we're gonna end. Speaking of circus, Moose has a couple of new videos, so we're gonna end on one of his. This one's called Payday in the Gloam, and I believe it's a reflection on the modern workforce seen through, I don't know if it's Victorian, old times. So here we go, and I'll end the stream here, and I will play the video and see you. I'll see you Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Hang on, let me. Alrighty, take care, everybody. Great conversation. See you at the next one.
Workers of the globe! Your week has been successfully extracted! Then take something back. Friday! Lighted! victory, every number wants blood. You crawl home through the drizzle with your boots full of mud. Someone says, be grateful. Someone says, work more. Usually from a clean chair, 20 feet above the floor. Let them talk, you know the weight, you know who carry what. You know who stayed beside you when the whole machine got stuck. That quiet one kept moving, that loud one disappeared. That worn out hand beside you still showed up and shifted gears. Those are ours, not by contract, not by title or command. By the way they caught the burden before it crushed another hand. So tonight we spend no sorrow on the mouths that feed on doubt. We don't need their permission to remember who we are without them. Check your chest, hear the rattle. That is not defeat, that is something waking up and finding back its fate. It's payday in the glow, let the whole dead midway know. We've been bent but never broken, we've been buried, now we glow. Raise the tired, raise the bruised, raise the ones they overlook. You are more than what they paid you, you are more than what they took. Spark, spark, bring it back. Spark, spark, strike the black. If your light is barely breathing, put your heads into the air. A million sparks are waiting to remind you you're still there. I know some lights don't roar, some only shake behind the ribs. Some have been covered so long, they forgot what shining is. You don't have to burn like daylight, you don't have to lead the crowd. Just protect one living ember, that is enough to start again. So start now. So start now. Clock out, stand up, shake the ash. Wake up, they took the weak, not the soul. They took the hour, not control. If you can, find your fire, take some of mine. And when I start to falter, we hold the line. One spark, two sparks, fill the sky. We didn't come this far to quietly It's payday in the glow, let the rusted rafters know. We've been ground against the concrete, now watch what the pressure grows. Raise the tired, raise the bruised, raise the ones they left behind. You are not the job that used you, you are not their bottom line. Spark, spark, bring it back. Spark, spark, crack the black. Every light that joins another makes the darkness lose its claim. A million sparks together and the glow forgets our names. Friday, hands up, Friday, hand up. They spent all week reducing us to numbers on a page. Tonight we leave as people, tonight we leave in flame. Please return Monday. Prepare to, we'll say, spark.